Blacks' worldwide rally behind Ibrahim Traoré. You won't believe his response. In a historic show of unity, black communities across the globe are standing in solidarity with Ibrahim Traoré, the bold and rising leader of Burkina Faso. From the streets of New York to the cities of Lagos, Johannesburg, London, and Paris, the world is witnessing a powerful wave of black unity and support for a leader who represents freedom, resistance, and African sovereignty. Can you imagine a single leader uniting millions across the globe in a matter of weeks, with 70% of Africans in 20 countries polled declaring their unwavering support? That's exactly what Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traoré has achieved, defying Western threats with a courage that's sparking a revolution. But what could his response to this tidal wave of global solidarity possibly be, and why is it sending shockwaves through the international community? But what truly stunned the world was Ibrahim Traoré's response to this global outpouring, a moment that left millions speechless. Just 36 years old, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has emerged as a towering figure in African leadership, capturing the hearts of black communities worldwide. As Burkina Faso's president, he has taken a bold stand against neo-colonialism, expelling foreign military forces and reclaiming national resources. His actions have drawn the ire of Western powers, with reports of U.S. threats of arrest and even whispers of invasion circulating on platforms like X. Yet, instead of cowering, Traoré has become a symbol of resistance, inspiring protests, hashtags, and rallies from Lagos to London. This article explores the unprecedented global support rallying behind Traoré and unveils his electrifying response that's redefining the fight for African sovereignty. In this video, you'll discover why black people around the world are uniting for Ibrahim Traoré, the real reason his leadership is igniting global inspiration, his powerful and unexpected reaction to the massive support, how this movement is shaping the future of Pan-Africanism and anti-colonial resistance, why black people around the world are uniting for Ibrahim Traoré. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the interim president of Burkina Faso since September 2022, has emerged as a powerful symbol of resistance against neo-colonialism and a champion of African sovereignty, galvanizing support among black communities worldwide. His leadership resonates deeply with Africans and the African diaspora due to several key factors. Anti-colonial stance. Traoré's bold actions, such as expelling French troops and rejecting Western financial institutions like the IMF and World Bank, directly challenge the lingering influence of colonial powers in Africa. This resonates with black communities who view him as confronting the historical exploitation that has impoverished resource-rich African nations. Echoes of revolutionary icons. Traoré is often compared to Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader who was assassinated in 1987. His rhetoric and policies evoke Sankara's vision of self-reliance and Pan-African unity, inspiring those who see him as a continuation of this legacy. Youthful leadership. At 37, Traoré represents a new generation of African leaders. His age and military background appeal to young people frustrated with older, often corrupt, political elites. This is evident in enthusiastic reception he received from Ghanaian youth during a 2025 presidential inauguration in Ghana. Global solidarity. Social media posts on platforms like X highlight a growing sense of solidarity among black people, with users describing Traoré as a flame for real change and a leader who represents the Pan-African legacy of figures like Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Lumumba. This reflects a shared aspiration for liberation from Western dominance. The unity around Traoré is not just about his policies, but also the broader narrative of reclaiming African agency. Black communities see his leadership as a rejection of the puppet African leaders criticized in his speeches, fostering a collective pride in African self-determination.
The real reason his leadership is igniting global inspiration. Traoré's leadership ignites global inspiration because it combines pragmatic governance with a visionary ideology rooted in Pan-Africanism and anti-imperialism. The real reasons for this inspiration include practical reforms. Traoré has implemented transformative policies in healthcare, agriculture, and economic development. His administration has deployed mobile clinics, provided free tractors to farmers, and approved Burkina Faso's first gold refinery to retain more value from its resources. These tangible improvements demonstrate that anti-colonial rhetoric can translate into real progress, inspiring hope across the continent and diaspora. Regional unity. Traoré's role in founding the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, with Mali and Niger signals a shift toward African-led coalitions that prioritize regional cooperation over Western alliances. This aligns with historical Pan-African ideals of a united Africa, inspiring those who dream of a federated continent. Defiance of Western narratives. By forging ties with Russia and Turkey instead of traditional Western partners, Traoré challenges the geopolitical status quo. His speeches, such as at the Russia-Africa Summit, highlight Africa's paradoxical poverty despite its resource wealth, resonating with global audiences aware of colonial exploitation. Cultural and historical advocacy. Traoré's emphasis on historical memory, such as acknowledging Africa's role in defeating Nazism, corrects Eurocentric narratives. This appeals to black intellectuals and activists who seek to reclaim African contributions to world history. His leadership inspires because it offers a blueprint for African nations to prioritize their people over foreign interests, a model that resonates with black communities seeking justice and equity worldwide. His powerful and unexpected reaction to the massive support. Traoré's reaction to the massive support from Africans and the diaspora has been marked by humility, resolve, and a call for sustained action, though specific public statements detailing his response are limited. Based on available information, his reaction can be inferred from his public demeanor and actions. Stoic commitment. Traoré maintains an enigmatic and formal persona, focusing on his role as a war leader rather than a celebrity. His speeches, such as at the AES summit, emphasize collective struggle over personal acclaim, suggesting he views the support as a mandate to intensify his anti-imperialist agenda. Amplifying the movement. Rather than basking in adulation, Traoré has used platforms like the Russia-Africa summit to rally African leaders and youth, urging them to reject imperialist manipulation and ensure food self-sufficiency. This indicates he sees the support as a tool to mobilize broader African unity. Acknowledgement of risks. Traoré's awareness of historical precedents, such as the assassinations of Sankara, Lumumba, and Gaddafi, suggests he is cautious about the dangers of his popularity. His restructuring of Burkina Faso's military and mobilization of civilian volunteers reflect a pragmatic response to both support and threats. Social media echoes. While Traoré himself is tightly controlled in his communication, the outpouring of support on X, with users warning against Western attempts to take him out, suggests he is aware of the global stakes. His continued defiance, such as dissolving his government in 2024 to consolidate power, shows he is leveraging the support to strengthen his position. His reaction, while not overtly emotional, underscores a determination to channel global support into lasting change, reflecting the gravity of his mission. How this movement is shaping the future of Pan-Africanism and anti-colonial resistance. Traoré's leadership is reshaping Pan-Africanism and anti-colonial resistance by revitalizing historical ideals and adapting them to modern challenges, influencing both ideology and practice. Revival of Pan-African unity. The AES and Traoré's calls for a federated Africa echo the Casablanca Group's vision of a borderless continent, as articulated in the 1960s. This reinvigorates Pan-Africanism as a practical framework for governance, inspiring movements like Y'en a marre in Senegal and Filimbi in the DRC. Economic self-reliance. By rejecting Western financial aid and promoting initiatives like the AFCFTA, Traoré's model encourages African nations to control their resources. This shifts Pan-Africanism from a cultural movement to an economic strategy, fostering intra-African trade and reducing dependency, youth-driven activism. The enthusiasm of African youth, evident in Ghana and on X, signals a new wave of Pan-Africanism led by younger generations. Traoré's leadership inspires grassroots movements, amplifying demands for democratic reforms and anti-colonial policies. Global diaspora engagement. Support from the African diaspora, as seen in petitions and social media, strengthens the global dimension of Pan-Africanism. This solidarity connects struggles against systemic racism in the West with African liberation, as seen in parallels with Black Lives Matter. Challenges to democracy. Traoré's military rule and crackdowns on civic freedoms raise questions about the compatibility of his approach with democratic Pan-African ideals. This tension may shape future debates about governance in anti-colonial movements, balancing strong leadership with accountability. Traoré's movement is redefining Pan-Africanism as a dynamic force that combines historical pride with modern pragmatism, challenging neo-colonial structures while inspiring a unified African identity. However, its success will depend on navigating internal challenges like political instability and external pressures from global powers.
Presentation of Problem/Challenge. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership is under siege. After ousting French troops in 2023 and nationalizing Burkina Faso's gold mines, he has become a target of Western powers seeking to maintain influence in Africa. Ex-posts, such as those from at Africa Rising 22, cite U.S. General Michael Langley's claims that Traoré is hoarding gold for personal protection, a narrative echoed by mainstream media to discredit him. Meanwhile, anti-Traoré protests in France, allegedly funded by external actors, signal a coordinated effort to undermine his regime. Domestically, he faces coup attempts and security threats from jihadist groups, exacerbated by Burkina Faso's economic struggles. The global support pouring in, while a powerful asset, adds pressure. Traoré must balance international expectations with the immediate needs of his people, all while navigating a geopolitical minefield where one misstep could lead to catastrophic consequences. Exploration/development. The global rally behind Traoré is a testament to his transformative leadership and the broader wave of anti-imperialist sentiment sweeping across Africa and its diaspora. Since seizing power in a 2022 coup, Traoré has implemented sweeping reforms: free healthcare and education, land redistribution, and partnerships with non-Western nations like Russia and China. His background as a military officer trained in Burkina Faso, coupled with his public displays of humility, like wearing simple attire and engaging directly with citizens, has endeared him to millions. Posts from users like @Pan-Africanist highlight his speeches, where he declares, "Africa's wealth belongs to Africans," resonating with those tired of foreign exploitation. The political climate amplifies this support, as black communities worldwide draw parallels between Traoré's fight and historical struggles against colonialism, from Haiti to South Africa. Protests in cities like Nairobi, Accra, and New York, alongside viral campaigns like #StandWithTraor, reflect a growing movement. However, this solidarity invites risks, as Western powers may escalate their efforts to destabilize his government, fearing a domino effect across the continent. Climax/key moment. In a televised address on April 15, 2025, responding to U.S. threats and global support, Traoré delivered a response that electrified the world: "Our gold is not yours. Africa is no longer under Western control. We either fight for our country or remain slaves forever." Shared across X by accounts like @GlobalSouthNow, the speech was a masterclass in defiance, blending fiery rhetoric with a call for Pan-African unity. Traoré went further, announcing plans for a sovereignty summit to unite African leaders against foreign interference, a move hailed as revolutionary by supporters. The impact was immediate. Hashtags like #TraorFightsBack trended globally, and protests erupted in solidarity, with one post warning, "The West wants Traoré to be Trump's Gaddafi. Africa won't let it happen." His response not only rejected Western intimidation, but also redefined him as a leader willing to stake his life on his nation's freedom, cementing his status as a global icon for self-determination. Conclusion/summary. Ibrahim Traoré's meteoric rise as a symbol of African resistance has ignited a global movement, uniting black communities in a shared dream of sovereignty. His bold reforms, nationalizing resources, prioritizing citizens' welfare, and rejecting Western dominance, have earned him unprecedented support, despite fierce opposition from global powers. Facing coup attempts, media propaganda, and threats of invasion, Traoré's challenges are immense. Yet his response, "We either fight or remain slaves forever," has galvanized millions and set a new course for Burkina Faso. This pivotal moment, coupled with his call for a sovereignty summit, could reshape Africa's geopolitical landscape, inspiring other nations to follow suit. As Traoré continues to defy the odds, his leadership and the solidarity behind him signal a turning point in the fight against neo-colonialism. Call to action, CTA. What do you make of Ibrahim Traoré's fearless stand against Western powers? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. For more on this inspiring leader and the global movement he sparked, check out our related video, The Rise of Africa's New Revolutionaries, and subscribe for updates on this unfolding story.